Hello, everyone. My name is Mike Jones. I am the Director of Education with the Oracle Applications and Technologies Users Group. I'm very excited to welcome everyone to this Ascend pre-conference session titled Ascend Preview, EBS Oracle Sessions with Nadia, Bendjedou, and Ian Sterling. Just a quick reminder for today's webinar, you will be on mute throughout the session. However, you're welcome to send questions at any time through the Q&A portal of the Zoom platform. We'll address questions at the end of the webinar. I might answer some as we go along if I know the answers to them. We are recording this session. The recording as well as the slide deck will be available to Ascend members on the Ascend website and, of course, OETUG members in the knowledge base. And finally, I'd like to turn it over for one of today's presenters. Her name is Nadia Bendjedou. She's the Vice President of Product Strategy for Oracle eBusiness Suite. Take it away, Nadia.
Thank you very much, Mike, and thanks for attending this preview for the Ascend 2024. As Mike said, I have Ian Sterling from eBusiness Suite, HCM Development Organization, representing, of course, the OHUG. So thanks, Ian, for joining. Ian will cover the HCM content for the conference. So let's review what we have. As usual, we have Cliff Godwin, who's obviously the biggest sponsor of the event, the biggest sponsor of the user group. Cliff, Senior Vice President of the eBusiness Suite Development Organization. As every year and as every conference for the Ascend, he comes and talks about the strategy of the eBusiness Suite, where we are, what are our investment priorities, what we are doing today and what we are doing in the future. So his session, let's call it the keynote for the eBusiness Suite. It's going to be on Tuesday, the 18th of June at 10 a.m. Of course, Cliff and his sponsorship of the event comes with the rest of the team. So Cliff will not be on his own. He comes with the whole eBusiness Suite organization. As you see, many faces you probably recognize. As you see, Ian is to the right and the center. So this team is working really hard to prepare great content for this conference. Lots of content is updated, but some of them are actually totally new, being delivered for the first time at this conference. So let's have a look at what this team is preparing for you. So this team has prepared a lot of sessions for you. If we look at just the conference, the regular conference sessions, we have 35 sessions for you this year. You can actually click on that link on the slide and you get to the Oracle at Ascend directly. So within the 35 session we are delivering at the conference, you see the breakdown on a number of areas and categories. First, we have definitely our support organization also that is going to be working and bringing some content for you. We have 2 sessions from our support organization. We have a category which I call personally across the suite things, sessions that apply to all functional areas and not limited to one. So we have 7 sessions in that category, which represents 20%. We will see those sessions in the next few minutes. The AppStack area, which is basically the technology platform under the eBusiness Suite, we have 9 sessions this year, more than last year, 26% of the overall content from eBusiness Suite. We have 5 sessions, which is actually more than we had last year for the ERP, which represents 14% of the overall coverage. The HCM area, which is being covered and sponsored by Ian here, 5 sessions, which is also at least 2 sessions more than last year, which represents 14% of the overall EBS content. And supply chain, we have 7 sessions, again, at least 1 or 2 more than last year, 20% of the overall. So you see that we have a lot of sessions. And again, I would like to emphasize this is just the regular conference session, but beyond that, we have other content, we have other programs, we have other opportunities where we can meet our customers. And I will address that in a minute. So let's start going through those conference sessions first. Across the suite sessions, this is where it's sessions that covers and applies to every functional area, not limited to one. So starting point, like the EBS Keynote, which is presented by Cliff. This is where Cliff talks about the strategy, the roadmap, the investment priorities, what we have achieved in the last year, in particular since we met you last year, and basically what we are planning to do for the future. In addition to Cliff's session, which is the keynote, there is also something that is extremely popular, which is the Q&A with Cliff and his executive team, leadership team. We had last year, it was a big, massive room, and the room was absolutely packed, and we had questions from the beginning to the end, nonstop. I remember Ian and I were standing on each side of the room, running with the microphone to people who are asking questions. I don't know whether Ian remembers that, but I definitely remember that. It was a very full exercise for me. So definitely a Q&A, it's a session not to be missed. In addition to that, things that apply to overall e-business suite is we really are helping customers trying to move to OCI. So this session that I actually present myself, we'll call it Move and Improve Your EBS to OCI. This is where we talk about what are our investment priorities in the OCI area, what's the latest and the greatest we have been delivering, and really customers who are doing that jump from on-premise to OCI. We have a session that is very popular also, which is the latest on eBusiness Suite 12.2. This is really beyond what the online patching feature, which as you probably remember, EBS 12.2 signature feature is online patching. But Jeannie here covers everything else that is not online patching. We have sessions, of course, focused on online patching, but here she really focused on the functional area and functional aspect in eBusiness Suite 12.2. Really, she tries to cover everything we have done since the beginning of 12.2, i.e. 12.2.3 on above. I don't think we can make justice because there is 13 years since 2013, so a lot to cover, but she will do her best. And we'll do her usual session on the planning with updated content, of course, some of the best practices and common sense on helping customers prepare their upgrade project to 12.2. This is really more about customers who are still on 12.1 and trying to upgrade to 12.2. But Anne is also doing a new session this year, which is really how you keep up your EBS, how you maintain your EBS system, how you modernize your EBS system. So planning considerations. So this is a fairly new content which Anne is delivering this time. So this is what I was saying earlier on. We have a new content in the conference this year. You probably heard about the Enterprise Command Center. Enterprise Command Center is our new framework that we started delivering since 2018. The framework itself is really a platform that is helping us in EBS to bring innovation from a functionality perspective. So this is about really bringing the dashboarding into EBS. You know, historically, the ERP system really we focused on the transactional, and this is what we deliver in every release, 12.2.6, 12.2.7, 12.2.9, etc. But the ECC brings a new functionality that really is about reporting. It's about how you use your system on a daily basis, a new way of using the eBusiness Suite, a new user experience from a data discovery and visualization. So Mohamed does an excellent job in delivering the platform itself. Here, he really focuses on the platform, but knowing Mohamed, usually everything he does, he will show you with demos. So definitely a very popular session worldwide, not to be missed for sure. So that is on the across the suite, meaning sessions that really are not limited to any functional area. Now, the other category, I call it AppStack, which is the application technology. This is a very, very popular category among your DBA, the system admin, and very popular track in the Ascend conferences in general. So this year we have new content also. Well, Lisa, she will start with the overall strategy and update on the technology platform and the technology foundation under the eBusiness Suite. But we have also new content. One of them is the second one, which is the news for admin. This is where you probably have heard us talk in the last few years about the new tech stack and the e-business suite. So we talked about the new version of Fusion middleware, which we are updating. And we have not really communicated that much because it was a heavy project and we have been working on it for a long, many years. And lots of people were say, yeah, you guys keep talking about the tech stack, but what is it? So this is the first time we are delivering news about this upcoming new tech stack. Elke, who doesn't need any introduction, she's very popular amongst the user conferences. And she is presenting this new content in addition to her usual content, which is number 3, maintaining and patching your e-business suite. Together, I believe, probably with Kevin, or I'm not sure who she's doing on her own. There is also a regular session which we have been delivering. Number 4 is really about going deep dive into how customers can adopt OCI. From a deploying, from a running, from really doing the actual work. While I am in number 3, early on in the Cross the Suite, I talk about the strategy, about what we have been doing lately at a high level. But the deploying and running the e-business suite on OCI, this really goes one level down from a technical perspective. So Santiago will be covering that. We have a usual session about the latest from the user interface and we have been working lately on the OAF in particular, and a little bit more. The performance, it's a very regular session that Samar is very popular in the conference and he brings a new updated content every year, not to be missed if you are really into optimizing the performance of the e-business suite. The session number 7 about deploying, developing your customization, deploying your customization in EBS 12.2. It's a regular session that Santiago has been delivering over the years, but this year there is something new in there. And we know and recognize that customers have been using Apex, one of the most popular tools among e-business suite customers, to customize e-business suite, to that do extension. They have been using the tool to build an extension on the top of e-business suite. And what Santiago will be adding in that session is how we are making it smoother, the integration with Apex. So we have been doing a lot of work in that area to make the integration of your Apex integration a lot easier, and especially from a security point of view. So I would definitely recommend you attend that session for that purpose. We have a very popular integration session year after year. It's still popular. And one thing that session number 9, which is not totally new, but we are bringing it back to the conference. We have been discussing the security and auditing in EBS for many, many, many years, but we dropped it in the last few years and we felt like we need to bring it back. Why we felt we need to bring it back? It's really based on your SRs. Based on your SRs, based on the question we have been receiving from customer and partners. And we felt like a new, bringing back that session is due, basically. Really, we get lots of SRs that are related to security. Maybe things are not necessarily, I think it's about, the information is there. It's more about how to make that information more accessible and better presented. So that's from an abstract category. Now let's go through the functional areas like the ERP. We added a new session. So last year we had 4, this year we have 5. You will see that what's new in financial, basically a lot of things we are doing in financial. And the new features in financial are actually delivered through our platform of ECC through dashboarding, lots and lots of content in the financial dashboarding that the team is bringing. So definitely, if you are running EBS Financial, this is definitely a session for you. If you are using a project, we have a session. If you are using advanced procurement, we have a session. We have a session, of course, on lease accounting. which we have been delivering in the conference. But the one session that is new this year is the OBN, the Oracle Business Network. This is really how you can onboard suppliers and new suppliers, etc. It's a session that it's a content that has been available for a long time, but we really never presented it in conferences. For the supply chain, we also have a new session. I think last year we had one. We added one more session this year. So we obviously have session on logistics. We have session on order management. We have session on the enterprise asset management. We have session that really does the overarching supply chain, which is the supply chain management as an overall arching session. We have the 3 sessions on the manufacturing, one dedicated to discrete manufacturing. The other one is dedicated to process manufacturing industry. And then we have a session that talks about costing in the manufacturing, which addresses costing for discrete and process. In the HCM area, I would like, since Ian is here, I would like to welcome Ian to talk about the content that you are delivering at the OHUG, at the Ascend.
Okay, thank you, Nadia. So thank you everybody for joining. My name's Ian Sterling, and I was just sat here thinking that I think this is the 25th year in the US that I've been involved with OHUG since I moved over from the United Kingdom. Within HCM, we've always had a historical close tie to our user group communities. And this year, I'm pleased to announce that as well as myself, there will be Subbu Katira, who's the Senior Director over the North America localization and payroll teams. So you'll have 2 for the price of 1 on this. The sessions that we would like to do, well, first of all, there will be the HCM roadmap. A lot of our customers are comfortable and familiar with our annual RUP patch that we put out, the roll-up patch. We try and be very predictable as to when the patch will be released, because that will form the baseline for the payroll year end, particularly in North America, which is at the end of December. So on the roadmap, we'll be talking about what's been included in that, which hopefully, as we touch wood, should be available. And then we'll give some guidance as to where we're going forwards with some new issues. There will be the normal, very popular North America payroll update. Justine Fitzsimmons last year presented this for us. And again, I'm sure she'll be giving a lot of input into Subbu's presentation on what's to expect and what's coming from a localization perspective. Session 3 is a little bit of a recap, but we're merging it as well, so that in the past we've spoken maybe about EBS HR on mobile, but we also have the payroll components of it as well. So Subbu and myself will do a joint presentation as to what people can leverage from the mobile product for both the HR and the payroll perspective. Number 4, again, just to show you the value of attending these conferences, this is something that was originally raised to us in meetings by customers saying, look, the workflow approval process in HR, if I put in my leave request, it will go to my manager, and if he doesn't approve it within the designated time, it will time out and it will go to his supervisor. But not every customer has supervisors on their assignment records. So we've taken a step back and re-looked at this, and we're going to show how we've managed to integrate the approvals management engine into HCM workflow transactions so that you can build your own approval chains. And then finally, I think this will actually be the first session on the Monday. We were keen to do a Meet the Experts session, and after talking with our colleagues at OHUG, there's an event on the Monday, which is the EBS HCM community meetup, and we've decided to merge it and also do it as a Meet the Experts session. So you'll get to meet your OHUG executive board, as well as the Oracle experts that are there, and we'll take any ad hoc questions that we can from you. So that's the HCM content. And for that, I'll pass back to you, Nadia.
Thank you very much, Ian. I really appreciate you made the call today and shared the content with the customers attending the conference. So in addition to that, we also have, I mentioned earlier on at the beginning that we have 2 support sessions by David Hustler, member of the support organization. I think last year he did the first one. This year we are adding a second one. So the first one is about database upgrade, monitoring, and troubleshooting, in particular focusing on the database and 19C upgrade analyzer. And that was a very, very successful session last year. So he's doing that again. But this year he's bringing a new session about customers who are moving their EBS workload from on-prem to OCI. And many of them are asking, I would like to purge and archive my EBS before I go to OCI, do spring cleaning, I call it. So clean up your environment before you go to OCI. So that's going to be very interesting. I personally would like to attend that as well if time allows.
Yeah, I would like to interrupt you there, Nadia, on that last session. The cleanup session has so much content. It's being done by David Hessler and also a partner, Bill Dunham, who's actually the president of the OATUG. And there's so much content. It's now a workshop, so it's going to be a 2-hour session because they have so much stuff to cover.
Oh, absolutely. That's great. That is why I really think I need to make time myself to go and attend that. Listening to David Haslab, my Oracle colleague, and Bill is going to be an experience, definitely. Thanks, Mike, for adding that piece of information. So up to now, I really talked about just the regular conference session. Now, I also mentioned at the beginning, we have much more than that. We have other programs, other opportunities, other content that are not classified as a regular conference sessions. And these are first, on Sunday, we are running 2 workshops or hands-on. Well, we have 2 types. We have one that is a true hands-on lab, which is really about helping customers to do the lift and shift from on-prem to OCI. And we certified lately a functionality called the landing zone. Landing zone is really one way of helping customers to easily deploy you and move your EBS workload to OCI. It makes just the move a lot easier than in traditional way. So this hands-on lab is going to be delivered by Santiago, as well as Terry Nord and Santiago Bastias. They are going to be working together on delivering this hands-on lab. This is, as I said, it's a true hands-on lab. So bring your laptop to the conference to do the lab if you want to get your hands dirty. The other one is a different type. It's not a hands-on lab, but it's a workshop. This is where our team they are going to do really a deep dive on the ECC personalization to extensibility. This is a very hot topic because customers deploy ECC dashboarding, but they would like to customize. The ECC, as I said from the beginning, ECC, the Enterprise Command Center itself is a platform, is a framework. It's like OAF, for example. So this ECC platform allows us to build dashboarding in financial, in procurement, in HR, in all these areas. But customers and partners would like to extend, personalize, customize, if I may say. So Mohammed and the team will be doing this deep dive with live demos. And because this is extremely popular, we are actually repeating it. We are doing one the first time on Sunday, but also we are repeating it on Thursday as well. And so definitely grab your seat on that, absolutely. So in addition to the workshops and the hands-on lab, we have also the concept of MTE. MTE is Meet the Experts. So as usual, we have a lot of MTEs, but this year we have 2 types of MTE. One that has 1 hour duration and some that are 2 hours and 15 minutes. So we have the usual EBS technology. We have that Lisa and Kevin and Bashar and lots of our team from the technology will be helping you there. We have the upgrade best practices led by Ann Carson, but there is going to be Summer and Kevin and the rest of the team. We have an MTE dedicated to running EBS on OCI. That's going to be run by my colleague Terry and definitely Santiago and some other people. We have an MTE for the ERP where we cover what is in procurement, in project, and some of the financial content. That's going to be 2 hours and 15 minutes. The order management and logistics, 2 hours and 15 minutes. We also have the MTE by manufacturing. So you would see Raman and the team covering the discrete and process. We also have Mohammed and team doing an MTE for ECC. If you did not have enough of ECC, there is more ECC content because it's extremely popular. It's the latest innovation we have done in EBS since 2018. So lots of people are so hungry to learn more about it, absolutely. And as Ian mentioned earlier on, I added here for completeness, the HCM, they're combining the community meetup and the Oracle expert, meet the expert. So remember the MTE, the concept of MTE is really where our development team, our strategy team will be there to welcome you and help answer your questions. So bring your questions, bring your issues, and discuss them with our team. They will help you with the if it is possible on the fly, or they may ask you to raise an SR, etc. But they are there to listen to you, to help answer your questions. So this is really more very, very interactive concept. So the next thing, which is totally new this year, and I am so happy that Mike and Reagan and the OATUG really accepted us to do this, because this is usually what we used to call EBS Summit. This is what we used to call the CABs, the Customer Advisory Board. We used to run separately, but we decided to bring this into the Ascend conference, and the team, the OATUG team, were more than happy to cater and host us to run this focus group. This is totally new for the conference. So the focus group is, as I said, is what we used to call it the CAB, the Customer Advisory Board, which means our team here are there probably spend 20% of the time speaking, but you are spending 80% of the time speaking. So they are there to listen to you. They are there to listen to what you would like us to do more in the product. So you see the description at the bottom of the screen here, which I stole from the Ascend website. So it's about you bringing your feedback and your enhancement request to our development. And we're talking about, you are talking to a VP and the product managers and the developers. This is really your opportunity to influence the future product direction. Absolutely. We are here to listen to the customers. And of course, engage with other people in the focus group. Peer-to-peer dialogue and networking is absolutely fundamental. So we have 4 focus groups. We have one on the order management. We have one on more or less the logistics, so inventory, warehouse management, mobile, MSCA, and the shipping. We have one that really focuses on procurement and project, and we have one that focuses on manufacturing, both discrete and process. One thing that I would like to highlight, the new focus group here are running in Monday afternoon, which means when you are preparing your flights and your hotel, please bear in mind you need to be there for Monday. So they are happening on Monday afternoon. So ideally you need to be there on Monday morning. So watch out. This is not a Tuesday to Thursday. This is definitely a Monday content. We are really looking forward to hear from you, to hear that you are participating. So you can, once Mike published the app for scheduling, make sure you register, because we are going to make sure we evaluate, more or less approve the people attending, because we need customers to this group, customers and users who really know the e-business suite. This is not educational session. This is where we are listening. Remember, I said that. So this is really where we are looking for people. We will approve people who know the EBS product, who have been using it, who have been deploying it, and really have constructive feedback from us. So please do not expect an education session in here. It's more about you wanting us to do something for you. So that is new. The next thing that is new is the executive forum. It is new, but not totally, because we already ran it once before, and I'm not sure whether it was 2018 or 2019. It was so successful that we really wanted to bring it back. Of course, after the 2019, the COVID hit us and we didn't run it since, but we want to bring it back because it was very successful. I put the link to the executive forum page directly, so you can click on it. And for the executive forum, what we are looking for is customers, very high-level customers, C-level executives who are representing companies that have been using e-business suite successfully, or customers who are eager to continue to use the e-business suite. We would like to have some that are on a panel. We will be highlighting customers who want to be part of the panel. And of course, the attendees, you are welcome to be asking questions. So the format of it will be something like, we start with the intro, we do Cliff does the EBS keynote, we come back to this room, we will have a panel, EBS panel, and that would be like 3 or 4, maybe 5 customers on the panel. They talk about their experience with the product, and then we open it to Q&A, have lunch, have fun, have really networking with the team in here. As I said, it has been absolutely extremely successful last time we ran it. This one is actually like on Tuesday, most of the day of Tuesday, basically. Now, in addition to that, and I hope you know by now that the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure team at Oracle are a big sponsor of Ascend this year. It's probably one of the biggest sponsors of the event this year, and hence they have a lot of content to share with you this year. So there are 8 sessions about OCI. That many of them are specific to EBS, but not only. So they have a session that apply to EBS and other application as well. Among these 8 sessions, 2 of them, number 5 and number 7, that highlighted in purple, those 2 sessions will be run pre-conference. So you probably know that Ascend has a pre-conference session that are also, they are webinars that they are basically, you can attend live on a webinar, but they are also recorded and will may be available. So number 5 and number 7 will be pre-conference delivered. The others are delivered during the conference. I'd like to highlight a couple of sessions here. The second session, actually it's going to be me who deliver that. I will be bringing some customers who are going to be on the panel, and really we'll be interviewing those customers about how they moved, why they moved, what did they get out of the benefit of moving their EBS workload to OCI. So this is a very OCI specific customers who have successfully moved to OCI. I did that last time and it was very successful as well. So this is, although it is an allocation and my OCI colleagues, but I'm actually delivering one of those sessions. Another topic that is obviously very topical these days is AI. Lots of customers, EBS customers, are asking us questions. How is EBS going to deliver AI functionality? How EBS customer can leverage AI in EBS, etc. So this is really, I mean, I'm sure you know there is no conference today that doesn't talk about AI. So AI is a very topical. So you will hear about how our OCI colleagues have been building solutions. We call them accelerators. It's AI and machine learning accelerators and generative AI and AI and ML services, not only for EBS, but for other applications as well. But their first application they focused on was EBS. So they built this primarily for EBS. The automation that they build is for EBS. The content really is driven by EBS, but they can make that content available for, let's say, JD Edwards or other products as well. It's extremely important session. Again, I'm emphasizing on the fact it's an accelerator. It's not It's not a product, but it's an accelerator with the intellectual properties on the AI. So we are giving you the intellectual properties of the AI and machine learning as content out of the box, but it's delivered as a service. So obviously you need to have a partner or Oracle Consulting to help you deploy and activate those for your EBS environment. So you will hear more. I think there is a preview, Mike, on the AI before the conference. So I definitely would suggest you attend that preview from on this topic as well. So you see that not only EBS is bringing content that is not just a conference session, but lots of new programs, etc. But we have been working extremely closely with our OCI organization to bring more content for our customers, driven by the OCI content and value proposition to our customers, especially for those who are planning to go to OCI. Now, you probably ask yourself, why do I need to attend? Why would I attend Ascend 2024? Well, first of all, if we look back to Ascend 2023, the data that I have on the screen comes from last year. Well, last year we had over 1,700 attendees in 2023. So that is basically a huge number that you can actually interact with those people. Of course, you are not going to be able to interact with all of them, but definitely that gives you an opportunity to meet a lot of attendees and learn from them. Last year, we had 186 speakers. I'm sure that those two numbers have already increased this year. You learn from those speakers, not only from Oracle speakers, but many very wonderful sessions delivered by customers, by users, by partners. Definitely, it's not just about the Oracle content and the EBS delivered content, but also from the users. I personally would go to the user session and customer session and the partner session. Last year, there were over 275 sessions at the event, and there were 27 countries, people coming from 27 countries. It's a huge event for our Oracle customers and EBS customers in particular. So the Ascent is really about boosting your knowledge. You have lots of speakers, you have lots of sessions, people coming from 27 countries, more than 1,700 attendees. You must be learning something from that. It's about getting some insight. What's new ideas? What's hot and what's cooking? What's new ideas and find inspiration and connect with the Oracle team that has been developing the product from the Oracle. So again, it's not about just connecting with the Oracle people and attending the Oracle session. It's also about hear what other users, how they use the product, how they share their experience. So there are very interesting sessions from the users, the customers, as well as the partners. From an EBS perspective, I already talked about how great content we are delivering as an organization from the e-business suite development. Again, this is just a 35 session, regular session, but I also talked about the focus on groups on Monday. We talked about the executive forum. We talked about the MTE. We talked about the hands-on lab as well as the workshop. Lots of content, and definitely you will get some insight. Definitely you get some ideas, some inspiration. You boost your knowledge and you connect with people, not only Oracle, but everybody else. And hopefully I convinced you to definitely make your mind about attending the Ascend, and definitely come and say hello to our speakers, the Oracle team. We are there for you. Remember that. And come and see us at the MTE, and there are lots of opportunities where you can say hello to us. With that, I believe I really come to the end of this content. Hopefully you liked it. And thanks again, Ian, for coming and sharing the HCM content at the OHA. And back to you, Mike.
All right. Thank you very much, Nadia. Yeah, as you can see, there's a ton of fantastic items at Ascend this year. So many great sessions. We've never really, I think, done something this in depth. I know that last year, one of the criticisms I heard of the conference is that we didn't have as much in-depth information. We definitely have that this year with the hands-on labs and the workshops. The focus groups, the Meet the Experts. We have it all this year. So we've definitely addressed that, especially in the EBS area. I know we run so many other different education tracks at Ascend, not just EBS. Of course, we've got Cloud HCM, Cloud ERP, Cloud EPM, analytics. We've got, and we even have a professional development track. So it really has a lot for everyone this year. So I recommend everyone attend. I know if you can't come in person, there is a virtual option. So if you want to see some virtual sessions, I did post in the chat. We've got some virtual live sessions that'll take place June 10th through the 14th. We're going to run some post-conference sessions, so you'll be able to attend those live as well if you're virtual. And then, of course, we have the post-conference will start, I believe, July 8th. And those are going to be kind of the highlight sessions that took place at Ascend. And then we'll have everything that's recorded on demand the next day, so you'll be able to watch it and actually get the slide deck. So we'll turn those over very fast. The only things we're not recording the hands-on labs or workshops. Those are so in-depth, and there's so much back and forth between kind of the speakers and attendees. They don't bode well as a good virtual session. We will have the slide decks though for you though on those. We have turbo talks in the exhibit hall. We're not recording those. We have solutions showcase sessions in the exhibit hall. We're not recording those either. But out of the 250 some odd sessions that we're running, we are just regular sessions. We are recording those, and they will be available on demand the next day. Thank you so much, Nadia and Ian. You guys do such a fantastic job. I love having all the Oracle sessions there. I love viewing the attendance at your sessions and the speaker ratings, because the whole team always does a fantastic job. And I don't have to worry about them. I know those sessions are going to be great, and you guys do just an incredible job. So we thank you so much. And this will conclude the webinar. Everyone have a great day.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks, Ian.
Yep. Thank you, everybody.